UFOs are interdimensional, explained in FBI report same day Roswell crash occurred. This might shock everyone, but the first interdimensional explanation of UFOs appeared on the same day when the Roswell crash happened. July 8, 1947 marked the date of the legendary UFO crash in New Mexico, but it also provided a possible explanation of the origin of the UAP phenomena that would take another 30 years to surface. On that day, Colonel Jesse Marcel stated in a press release that the U.S. Air Force has recovered a flying disc with alien bodies that had crashed in Mexico. Unfortunately, the new press release was issued later, which certainly was to change the facts of the first one, and now the crashed UFO turned into a crashed weather balloon. The updated weather balloon theory did not add any significant details that would explain why or how a highly decorated war officer, Colonel Marcel, who participated in delivering the first nuclear weapons used in war, mistook the weather balloon for a crashed disk with alien bodies. And that day, three important things were introduced to the world at a large scale: unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs, UAPs, extraterrestrial hypothesis, and interdimensional hypothesis of the origin of both. The latter was not noticed until the scientists like Jacques Vallée started considering the alternative origin theory for UFOs, which is interdimensional. And we know that in the Emerald Tablets, and I have a playlist for you to listen to, written by Thoth the Atlantean, Hermesius Megistus, he claimed that the Atlanteans had such very advanced technology, they even had space travel and interdimensional travel. They were able to zip from one dimension to the other. Now, the FBI vault contains thousands of declassified files about various mysteries of the past. The topic related to UFOs and aliens always remains the most discussed one, and the FBI has a lot of documents stored in its vault. Speaking of this strange phenomenon, Memorandum of Importance, or Memo 6751, is most important in the ufology according to former FBI Special Agent John D'Souza. The story behind this document, however, is more complex than a simple whiff of opportunism veiled in a swirl of ectoplasmic public service. And perhaps, if you are inclined to delve, quite interesting. Above all, let us remember that it was in 1947. It was hard to believe that Edgar Hoover, the director of the FBI, was very worried about justice or respect for the right of society to know the facts. He was the ultra-conservative and reactionary who thought differently. But the fact is that in 2010, it became known that from the FBI vault page that the agency included in the category of declassified a report prepared, especially Memo 6751, in July 1947 by a special agent of the FBI. He was a lieutenant colonel whose identity was in the interest of national security, and at the direction of Hoover, erased a report based on an interview with a witness of the appearance of a UFO. The witness shared his own experience of contact with a non-human mind and could tell quite a lot. Memo 6751 acknowledged the existence of an alien presence. Former FBI officer John D'Souza, the author of The Extradimensionals, True Tales and Concepts of Alien Visitors, points to the memorandum as a significant document in ufology. And according to the report, among other species, we are visited by creatures not only from other planets, but from other dimensions as well. In particular, they are from the etheric plane, coexisting with our physical universe, materialized entities that appeared as translucent giants. So let's see what presented in this short memo might apply to what we tend to believe today after intervening decades of reported UFO encounters. One of those flying saucers should be attacked. If one of them should be attacked, the attacking plane will almost certainly be destroyed. There are accounts of unfortunate outcomes for military pilots, particularly in Russia, who were told to try to bring a UFO down. Part of the discs carry crews, others are under remote control. Luis Elizondo tells there have been glimpses with UAP that reveal occupants, and the tic-tac that engaged Navy pilots in 2004 can be seen as possibly remotely controlled. The discs poses a type of radiant energy or a ray which will easily disintegrate any attacking ship. Former Air Force First Lieutenant Robert Jacobs reported filming in 1964 a UFO taking down a nuclear missile test in flight with beams of light. UFOs can simply disappear from our vision without trace. There are many reports, some documented with video, from people saying UFOs simply vanish from their sight without a directional trace. They probably can't be reached by radio, but probably can be by radar. If a signal system can be devised for that apparatus, somebody tells SETI, though perhaps Luis Elizondo hints that the Black Ops folks have already figured out the pulsed communications bit. The main idea of discussing this report is that we already have the foundations of the interdimensional hypothesis for the origins of UFOs on the same day of the Roswell report in 1947. The FBI staff has hidden the name of the person behind the memo, but they left the two clues, round robin and the flying roll. This reveals that the cautionary UFO advisory was produced by Newton Meade Lean, who lived from 1882 to 1961. Lane started publishing the Round Robin, a newsletter of Arcana in the style of Charles Fort, via mimeograph in 1946, since he could not afford to print it. The second venture, dubbed The Flying Roll, was added to this. The Fortean Society journal Doubt, edited by Tiffany Thyler, may have inspired the outreach. One of the oldest known ideas is the notion that there are other unobserved universes apart from our own. It appears that humans have always recognized that there is more to existence as a whole than what our physical senses can perceive. Lane was attempting to make sense of UFOs in terms of what he had already experienced in his research into the unseen realm. In Memo 6751, he says, the region from which they come is not the astral plane, but corresponds to the locus or talus. From Lane's early spark in applying the ancient cosmological idea to UFOs, the interdimensional hypothesis took a couple of decades to evolve. And by 1970s, the interdimensional hypothesis viewed as alternative to the popular extraterrestrial hypothesis, which is advanced by such experts as Meade Lane, John Keel, Alan Hynek, and Jacques Vallée. And according to it, UFOs are a modern manifestation of a phenomenon that has occurred throughout recorded human history, which in prior ages was ascribed to mythological or supernatural creatures. Now, could the phenomenon at the Utah Ranch, also known as Skinwalker Ranch, have been the result of interdimensional beings or time travelers accessing our space-time continuum, or physical beings jumping across vast interstellar distances via wormholes or stargates? Dr. Travis Taylor joined businessman Brandon Fugal's team at Fugal's infamous Skinwalker Ranch 3 years ago and firmly believed he would be able to resolve the ranch's assorted mysteries in short order, but the longer he stayed, the stranger things became. In his recent interview with George Knapp, he said, I had never seen a UFO until I got out here. Now I've seen more UFOs than now that you can count, he said. Isn't that amazing? And this is on House and Wise by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.